Hello everyone, my name is Leo Mendolia, and today I'm going to be talking about an important fact in Japanese history, in which how the role of the emperor changed after World War II with the 1947 Constitution. Let's talk about it. In this video today, we'll cover a few key things. Number one, first, what Japan was like before the war and why the emperor had so much power. Two, next, how the Allies and Japanese officials worked together to create a new constitution. Number three, then we'll look at how the emperor role changed under the 1947 Constitution. And then finally, we'll discuss how people reacted, what this change meant for Japan, and why it still matters today. So let's dive in. Hirohito became emperor in 1926 after his father passed away. Before World War II, he was seen as divine, even so that many people even believed he had a direct connection to the gods, and his word was law. This made his decision almost unquestionable, especially in military matters. After Japan lost the war, the country was in chaos. Cities were destroyed, the economy was struggling, and people weren't sure what the future would hold. The emperor, who used to have a lot of power, now faced a world that wanted big changes. The Allies, led by General Douglas MacArthur, wanted Japan to become peaceful and democratic, but to do that, they had to change the emperor's role. Before 1947, Japan followed the Meiji Constitution from 1889. This gave the emperor nearly all the power. Military leaders and government officials used his authority to push Japan into expansion and war. People were very loyal to the emperor, and losing his power after the war was a huge shock to many. The war showed that giving so much power to one person could be dangerous. The Meiji Constitution was inspired by Western governments, especially Germany, but still kept the emperor as the ultimate authority. While it modernized Japan's legal system, it concentrated power in the hands of the emperor and a small group of elites. Because the emperor was seen as divine, ordinary citizens had very little political say. Freedom of speech and political opposition were limited, which meant the government could push military policies without much public resistance. By the 1930s, this system made it easier for military leaders to expand Japan's empire in Asia. Education and society emphasized obedience and loyalty to the emperor, teaching people that serving the nation and following orders was their duty. Japan was a hierarchy. People were taught to obey authority, especially the emperor. The war showed that giving so much power to one person could be dangerous. Militarism and imperial ambitions caused Japan to go to war and eventually led to widespread destruction. After the war, the Allies worked with Japanese officials to create a new constitution. The Japanese first suggested changes themselves, but the Allies thought it wasn't enough, so they wrote a draft and presented it to Japan in 1946. The emperor supported these changes in his imperial rescript. He said he wanted the constitution to respect the will of the people and human rights. MacArthur praised him for supporting democracy. In 1947, the new constitution took effect. Article 1 said the emperor would be the symbol of the state and the unity of the people. This meant he no longer ruled Japan. He became a symbolic figure instead of a political leader. At the same time, Article 9, the Peace Clause, said Japan cannot go to war to solve problems. People have mixed reactions. Some are worried about losing tradition, but others welcome new freedoms like speech, religion, and assembly. Internationally, people saw the symbolic emperor as a clever way to keep culture while moving towards democracy. Many Japanese citizens, such as Viscounts Yukika Soma, noticed much of the information spread across Japan, saying even farmers' wives in remote areas understood what the new constitution meant for them. The Allies made sure wartime leaders like Tojo were punished, but the emperor remained free from any charges. This kept Japan stable while democracy could grow. The balance between tradition and reform helped the country move forward peacefully. Today, Japan still has a symbolic emperor, and the democratic system created in 1947 has lasted for decades. The emperor is no longer a ruler, but a unifying symbol for the nation. This change in the emperor's role wasn't just legal, it was cultural, political, and social. By keeping the emperor as a symbol rather than a ruler, Japan could honor its traditions while embracing modern democracy. It also shows us something important. Change doesn't have to erase history. Japan could respect its past, learn from mistakes, and still create a peaceful future. This is why the 1947 Constitution is often seen as a milestone, not just in Japanese history, but in world history too. So in short, the 1947 Constitution transformed Japan. The emperor went from being a powerful ruler to a symbolic leader. Democracy grew, militarism ended, and Japan could rebuild as a peaceful country. By keeping the emperor as a symbol, Japan managed to hold on its own culture while creating a new democratic future. And again, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a great day.